Major red flags are being raised as Donald Trump took yet another mysterious trip, purportedly to a dentist yesterday while he was in Palm Beach. You may recall back in January, Donald Trump also took a mysterious trip to a dentist. This raises red flags for a number of reasons. We can see Donald Trump's cognitive and physical health deteriorate before our eyes. It should also be noted that as far as we know, Donald Trump has not had his annual physical this year. The last one was in April of 2025. And also the White House has an entire room for dental procedures where dentists from Walter Reed, the top dentists in the country, or dentists, frankly, from anywhere else in the country or the world, could perform procedures or do checkups at a location in the White House that actually has a dental office built into it. So when former President Biden got a root canal, for example, during his presidency, it was transparently announced and the procedure took place at the dental office inside the White House. I want to break this down for you with the receipts, with the facts like we do here at the MeidasTouch Network. And then I want to show you all of the manipulation that Trump has been doing with his medical records. And I've been raising this red flag every single day because I know corporate news ain't doing it. And I think it should be very obvious when we see Donald Trump's cognitive and physical rot before our very eyes. And I think we should be asking the right types of questions because it is 25th Amendment time, like yesterday and the day before yesterday. So Sebastian Smith posted the following: per White House pool reporter Annie Linsky, the president has left his Jupiter Golf Club in in Florida for a dental appointment. White House says it's a, quote, scheduled appointment at, quote, his local dentist. As Dr. Jonathan Reiner explains, and he's a top cardiologist in D.C. He was a cardiologist for Cheney and for lots of other top officials in Washington, D.C. Reiner writes, the White House had a dental operatory since the Hoover administration. Routine dental exams can and almost always are done in the White House. And for example, go to mouthhealthy.org. It has the history of dentistry. The president doesn't go far to visit the dentist. In fact, the dentist comes to him. The White House has had a dental office since the Hoover administration. Obama told Jimmy Kimmel he first learned about it when he thought he had a loose cap. Got the whole chair. Everything is all there set up in the basement, he said. And so there is a place in the basement where there's a dental operatory. Now, former President Biden, back on June 12, 2023, very transparently, the same way former President Biden would release detailed medical records, many pages long. Here was the headline from the BBC, June 12, 2023. Biden to have root canal procedure at the White House. The 80-year-old complained of dental pain on Sunday. An examination was performed that day, said White House physician Dr. Kevin O'Connor, and the procedure required a root canal, and that took place in the White House dental operatory. Now, Donald Trump took another mysterious visit to a dentist back on January 10th, 2026. This was the headline from Mediaite back then. Trump goes on social media spree attacking opponents after mystery dentist appointment. Donald Trump fired off a barrage of social media posts attacking a laundry list of enemies at around the same time he wrapped up a mystery dentist visit. White House pool reporters detailed what the administration said was a scheduled trip to the dentist for the president. From Emily Gooden, Saturday, January 10th, 2026, 7:56 a.m. Subject, out-of-town pool note number 1. Motorcade, rolling dentist appointment. Good morning from Palm Beach. The motorcade is rolling from Mar-a-Lago at 7:54 a.m. From the White House, President Trump is going to a scheduled dental appointment at his local dentist in Florida. Pool did not lay eyes on POTUS. They did not see this. He was hiding from the press pool. Then January 10, 2026, 8:13 a.m. Subject, out-of-town pool note number 2, dentist arrival. Motorcade arrived at the dentist office at 8:12 a.m. Poole did not see POTUS and is holding. They did not even see him enter the building. Then January 10th, 2026, 10:06 a.m., out-of-town Poole note number 3, departing dentist. The motorcade departed the dentist at 10:03 a.m. Poole did not lay eyes on POTUS. No details given about the visit, but a White House official confirmed to your Pooler that POTUS did not undergo anesthesia. Then shortly thereafter, Donald Trump started posting deranged Jack Smith should be sitting in prison. James Comey should be sitting in prison. Barack Obama should be sitting in prison. And then there were all these posts like that. So you had that mysterious dental visit. Now, you take a look at Donald Trump's medical records, as we've been analyzing here. So Trump's last annual physical, April 13th, 2025. His doctor is this guy, Sean Barbarella, right there, a DO. And here are some red flags in that April 13th, 2025. Red flag number 1, it's now May 2026, and we haven't heard of any annual physical. Annual. So one should take place in April, for example. And this annual physical note in April 13, 2025 says that Donald Trump then was 78 years old, that he was 75 inches tall and 224 pounds. He ain't 75 inches, 224 pounds. It then talks about here that he took a Montreal Cognitive Assessment, which is a test to determine maybe early onset of dementia. So you had that exam. Also, it should be noted that Barbarella said that Donald Trump could be seen as being very healthy based on the fact, and this is beyond parody, that he had frequent victories in golf events. This was from that April 2025 report. Trump remains in excellent health. His active lifestyle continues to contribute significantly to his well-being. Trump's days include participation in multiple meetings, public appearances, press availability, and frequent victories in golf events. Trump exhibits excellent cognitive and physical health and is fully fit to execute his duties as commander-in-chief. So you had that was the last annual physical. Then you look at these two other reports. One was from October 10th, 2025, and this was the report that they were first saying was his annual physical, but then it turned out that he was either getting an MRI or a CT scan. And it said, Trump successfully completed a scheduled follow-up evaluation at Walter Reed National Medical Center. The visit was part of his ongoing health maintenance plan and included advanced imaging, laboratory testing, and preventative health assessments conducted by a multidisciplinary team of specialists. These evaluations were performed in coordination with academic and medical consultants to ensure optimal cardiovascular health and continued wellness. So everybody saw advanced imaging. I think MeidasTouch Network was the first to raise the red flag there. Advanced imaging. Did he get an MRI? What location was the MRI in? Then later, Donald Trump admitted he got an MRI. And then they tried to walk that back and say, no, it wasn't an MRI. It was a CT scan just of the abdomen, and it was a routine abdominal CT scan. There's no such thing as a routine abdominal CT scan or even a routine abdominal MRI. If you were to get it, it would be full body, and you really don't do preventative MRI and CT scans. Given the nature of these things, usually you don't do that. It's usually to look into something in particular. If you've gotten a CT scan or an MRI, also, if you've gotten an MRI before, when I've gotten an MRI before, you know that it's something that you remember. Like it's a long experience. And for me, it was a very stressful experience and very panic inducing when they put me in the thing. So for Donald Trump to say, actually, it was an MRI, but just of my abdomen, and then it was a CT scan, merely just going back and forth like that raises red flags. So then the Trump regime's propagandist office said, okay, we're going to release the MRI results. And instead of releasing the MRI results, they released this doctor's note, December 1st, 2025, also signed by Sean Barbarella. Dude, just release the MRI results of the CT scans. Like, we know what a CT scan looks like. We know what an MRI looks like. That's not what they did. Instead, they said, summary of Donald Trump's advanced imaging results. As part of President Donald Trump's comprehensive executive physical, advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. The purpose of this imaging is preventative to identify issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure he maintains long-term vitality and function. This isn't an MRI result right there. That is a note that misstates the purpose of MRI results and CT scans. So then you have Donald Trump's other medical note, July 20th, 2024, and this was before he was in office, and this was in connection with the purported Butler shooting, where Ronnie Jackson, the MAGA Republican Congress member from Texas, posted this note instead of releasing the actual medical results from the Butler hospital, which we could have seen what actually happened in that purported Butler shooting. But instead, you had this report from Ronnie Jackson. As the former appointed physician to the president, I was naturally very concerned, as was the entire world, about the well-being after the assassination attempt. I have been with Trump since that time, and I have evaluated and treated his wound daily. He's doing well. As reported and witnessed by the entire world, he sustained a gunshot wound to the right ear from a high-powered rifle used by the would-be assassin. The bullet passed, coming less than a quarter of an inch from entering his head, and struck the top of his right ear. The bullet track produced a 2-centimeter wide wound that extended down to the cartilage surface of the ear. Then he goes on to say the president was initially treated by the medical staff at Butler Memorial Hospital in Pennsylvania, who did an excellent job of evaluating him and treating his wound. I want to thank them. Okay, well, release the Butler medical report. Instead, you have that, and then Donald Trump goes on Joe Rogan, and Rogan says, let me see your ear. You're saying you got shot with an AR-15 bullet in your ear and your ear wasn't blown off? That's not the way ears work or the way AR-15 bullets work. But here's what the exchange happened that took place. Here, play this clip.
He was a nice once guy. They shot you, I was like, he's got to come in here. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing. I think our timing's perfect. Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
What do we say? What do you got
there? Right over here.
Oh, it's a tiny little mark.
It zicked right there.
Yeah. It healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little. It's not like some of the wrestlers, some of the UFC fighters.
No, you didn't get cauliflower.
No. It was sort of like a top shot. Mm-hmm. The point of the bullet was a little of the ass, but you see the thing's taken off a little bit, but it makes me a tougher guy. You know, the fighters,
And then I think it's also notable as well that yesterday from Palm Beach to Doral, Donald Trump was not in a car. He did not take the motorcade. It's about an hour and 16-minute drive. Instead, Donald Trump was using Air Force One to take an 80-minute drive, basically. He used Air Force One for that. I don't know. I just think that raises some questions and some red flags. And then when Donald Trump was on the tarmac, again, he's shown major signs of cognitive and physical decline. For example, Donald Trump claimed he never said that he might be better off not making a deal with Iran. Here, play this clip.
We'll see. Any questions real fast? The which? No, I haven't. I'm looking at it up here. Yeah, I'll let you know about it later. But
last night you said we might be better off not making a deal with Iran.
Well, I wouldn't have to. I didn't say that. I said that if we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. We're going to do it so nobody has to go back in 2 years or 5 years.
Mr. President, you also said last night.
But we have video of Donald Trump saying exactly that. The day before Donald Trump said that. Here, play this clip.
So you'll be all very happy. And, it's right now I own Doral. And right now we have a tournament. I'm so busy. And we have the big Cadillac Championship going on, all the great players, the PGA Tour. And they're there. And yesterday somebody came up, said, sir, the tournament is great. I said, what tournament are you talking about? I'm so busy with the Iranians trying to make a good deal, and we're not going to let that happen. But they've got to make a bad deal. But if they make a deal at all, because frankly, maybe we're better off not making a deal at all. Do you want to know the truth? Because we can't let this thing go on. Going on too long, but under the leadership of...
Then we have Donald Trump saying we set up a very friendly blockade, that our blockade against Iran is very friendly.
It's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
Mr. President, in your letter to Congress, you said the hostilities in Iran that started have been terminated. How can you say that given that the naval blockade is still being militarily enforced?
Well, it's a very friendly blockade. Nobody's even challenging it. Nobody at all is challenging it. Just so you understand, many presidents have been involved in things that are very big. They never had to go through anything with respect to Congress. They considered it to be totally unconstitutional. And the Democrats in Congress that push this, and probably a couple of Republicans, they're hurting our negotiating ability, which is infinite right now. And they shouldn't be doing it. It's never happened before. No other president's done it. And I'm not going to be the first. Thank you very much.
And folks, Donald Trump's cognitive and physical decline is also, on the top of minds of Iranians. And they're posting videos saying, can somebody get this guy help? As Donald Trump is out there making weird noises like, And the Iranian account says, I think this man needs therapy. And then they separately mock Donald Trump over here for saying that he's a pirate. And that the United States are now a bunch of pirates. Here, play this clip.
And there was no response. Turn your ship around. Evacuate your engine room immediately. And you see all these guys running out of there. Now, they're 5 miles away. And one shot into the engine room, blew up the engine room. The ship stopped. They used tugboats. And then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it. And we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates. But we're not playing games because, for 47 years, Iran has been pushing everybody around. They're the bully.
And then you know that Donald Trump was bragging yesterday about cognitive exams. Let's play it.
I took 3 of them. Aced all of them, by the way. 3 of them. I'm the only president to take a cognitive test because I don't think Obama could pass it. I don't. Didn't he get into Harvard with a C average? I don't know. What's that? I don't think he could pass it. Biden isn't. Give me a break. The first question is very easy. It's a lion, a giraffe, a bear, and a shark. They say, which one is the bear? And everybody says, 30 questions. Everyone says very standard. It's a very standard test, but very tough around those last 10 questions. Not too many people, even in this very room, unlike Newsom, I'll say, this room of geniuses. He said, I'm in a room of dumb people. That was not good. That was not good. You know what happened to him after that? It wasn't a pretty, but I'm in a room of brilliant people, but a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions. And when I got the score in the test, the doctor said, wow, I've never seen, you have 5 doctors lined up. They're all over the place. I said, should I take it? I've had different phases. They've said, he's a mad genius. I didn't mind that too much. Then they said, he's a horrible human being. I don't like that much. Then they said, he's really not a smart person at all. I really hated that. So I took a cognitive test. And I said
and then he was bragging more about all cognitive exams and how difficult it is to multiply this number and that number. Again, very weird behavior. You can see it right here.
And these are tough questions. They say, take a number, any number. Okay, I'll take 99. Multiply times 9. Okay. Divide it by 3. Good. Add 4,293. That's good. Divide by 2. Subtract 93, divide by 9. What is your answer? Now, they go a little slower than that, but not much. I don't want to waste a lot of time. But there aren't a lot of people that get it right. I got it right. It was actually longer and more complex than that. But no, it's a tough test, so I took it.
It's also notable as well that, one of the things that Iran posted was that its president, Dr. Pezeshkian, is a cardiologist, a cardiovascular surgeon. And so they were basically showing the contrast. Look, our leader is a world-renowned cardiovascular surgeon, and your leader's out there making up fake medical reports or manipulating medical reports or not being fully transparent with the actual medical reports. And so, folks, I've said major red flags here. I've been calling it out every day. hopefully give you a little history about the dental operatory. And I'm sure you didn't know that there was a whole dental office in the basement of the White House, and why this raises many red flags. This is what we do here at the MeidasTouch Network. We come with facts. We come with receipts. So please, if you can, hit subscribe. Help us get to 7 million subscribers. Please, please, please. I want to try to get to 7 million. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.